welcome back to another edition of the Gentleman Gurchowski Show. I'm Larry, your host with the most, and we got a lot going on today. We got Matt Cassane on the broadcast, and Matt Cassane is going to take us into his little vault and show us some greatness from yesteryear. Welcome to the show, Matt. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing, Larry?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Just chilling. You know what? Enjoying. We got rid of February, and February was just a wretched month. Really, it was cold and snowy, and it just seemed like winter would never end. And now we're getting close to warmer weather daily. So I'm excited about that. How did you handle this winter? Because I know. We got lucky. November, December, even January, we had some 50-degree temperatures. It wasn't bad, and then, the bottom dropped out in February, right?
Yeah, man. I've been hibernating, to say the least. Hibernating. So just
Because
laying low, trying to stay warm. And
are you the snowblower type, or do you go
I,
out there with a shovel?
I have a shovel. I have a snowblower too, but it's not operating properly these days. So most of the time, what I do is there's a couple of high school kids down the street, and just like peel off for $20, give them a $20 bill. They come over and do it.
Oh my God. The snow we had this year, you could have given them $100. It would have been well worth the money you're spending, right? With all this snow. We had like 2 feet of snow at one time, right? It just kept snowing and snowing. I know, I was able to help my dad shovel at least one of the biggest snowfall day, but the rest of it, I couldn't. My body just couldn't do it no more. I was just done with snow. It's like no more. Like 20 days in a row, I think it snowed. If not, it was just rough.
I'll tell you, one guy that was in his glory was that Tom Skilling. He was loving every minute of it.
Oh yeah. And it's funny. I'd watch the weather, and then I would go to sleep because what else is there to do? You don't want to. It was too cold to go out and do something at night, And I would watch Tom Skilling daily, and he was part of my routine for the month of February. Watch Tom and go to bed. Watch Tom and go to bed. I don't want to, Sometimes I'd stay up for was it Cheryl Scott, but most of the time Tom was good enough for me. I caught Cheryl at I think 5 p.m. every day.
Oh yeah, Tom is great, man. If you're ready for a totally in-depth 20-minute weather segment, he is the man to watch.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what I've also done? I'll watch him, and then I'll rewind it because I'm like, I want to hear that again because he goes so much into depth on different things with the weather. And sometimes when you watch the weather, do you pay attention the whole time, or do you kind of zone out and think about other things, and then you're like, oh, I want to see this. He definitely, as you said, he teaches you about the weather, and that's what I really like about watching Tom Skilling broadcast is he'll tell you this is happening here, and then this is why it's going to happen here, and it's just wonderful. That's the way that you learn something from that.
Oh, absolutely. I learned phrases like the Alberta Clipper and cold fronts coming in from Canada, all that stuff. So yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a Chicago treasure, just like yourself there, Matt. Now you're coming on and you're talking a little bit about some of your classic vault moments that you did. But before we get into that, I want to thank you. You had a newspaper article written about you back in January, and you gave us a little plug. You up one of the pictures of the show. I do appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you for helping out the show by plugging your appearance on the show and everything that you've been doing in January. So thank you.
Oh man, no worries, man. I sent that in to Jane Charmello over at the local Lombard and Villa Park newspapers here in town, and she's always been a great supporter of mine, and so as of yourself and you and Dennis. So I wanted to try to pay you guys back in some way. So that's how we did it. So thank you, Larry, too, for all your support.
Oh, definitely, I definitely do appreciate it. But you've done some stuff, over the years, and one of the things you did, where you did a something called Clown Fellas. Can you tell us about that? Can you set that little video clip up for us?
speaking of WGN and Tom Skilly, we shot this exclusively for WGN at WGN, and I'll tell you a fun little story about it. We all dressed up as clowns. It was me, Jeff Hoover, Mike Toomey, who are regulars on the WGN Morning News, Terry Barthel, who's one of the behind-the-scenes guys, a producer over there. And we all dressed up. And then we brought in a great Chicago actor, Joe Farina, to play the FBI agent. And if you don't know it, Joe is the son of the late, great Chicago actor Dennis Farina, who I'm sure everybody remembers from movies like Midnight Run and Crime Story and all that stuff. He's a great, legendary actor. There's Joe right there. And but the nice part about it, Larry, is that the morning we shot it, we all got together and we all watched YouTube videos on how to put on clown makeup. And then we put the clown makeup on in the old Bozo dressing room. And it's so weird to go in there because it's weird because nothing's really changed. I mean, the dressing room is still kind of the same. They left it intact from when, the last Bozo show was taped back in, I think, 2001. So it's really cool being in there.
Got it. So you were able to get the inner clown aura from the studio, huh? And put the makeup on?
That's right. And I learned how to talk like Bojo, too, when I was there, Larry. Hey, kids, it's Bojo.
I grew up watching the Bozo show. I think when I was in kindergarten, Ray Rayner's show was on in the morning. And then when I went to first grade, the Bozo show started from afternoon to the morning. So, basically, most of my schooling years, except for that kindergarten, was with the Bozo show. And I remember getting up every day, 7 o'clock in the morning. You sit there and watch the Bozo show. And, it started off with the original Bob Bell, and then it went to the other guy who later replaced him. But, it's just a treasure that Chicago, some of the things that, we grew up with in Chicago that, our kids nowadays will never know. Because the Bozo show was a big deal, and they had a long waiting list for kids to get on the show, right?
Oh, yeah. I had heard that it was a 10-year waiting list. I mean, because the studio, they always say it's and a cast of thousands. But, I mean, I think the studio might have held maybe just a little over 100 people, at the most. So, I mean, yeah. So they had like a really long waiting list. You'd get on the list when you were, like a little kid, like maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and then you'd get to go to the show like when you were in high school, to watch it. So.
Yeah. So you'd be there like, yeah, this is why I waited all this time for this. But so I'm glad you were able to put the makeup on in that room, which is kind of cool. So that definitely had to been a treat for you. You sat where Bozo sat, huh?
It was cool, man. And the whole thing, we shot that in 2008, and The Sopranos had just been on the air for almost a whole decade by that point. And The Sopranos had just gone off the air, and so we were all kind of like jonesing and missing The Sopranos. And I was just like, there's something here. I mean, maybe we should just all dress up like clowns, but do like a sort of a wise guy take on it, So that's how we came up with it. And we just had a blast with it. It was so much fun. I mean, I remember walking through the hallways and, there hadn't been like a bunch of clowns walking around WGN in years at that point. And so everybody was just like, I remember I think the guy's name was Tom Ellman or something. He came out of his office. He came out of his office. He goes, "What the hell's going on here?"
Oh gosh. We're back to the clowns. Okay, there you go. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at Clown Fellas, where you play Lefty, and I guess Lefty wasn't playing clown games well, right?
We're responding to 2 other emails. The first is from Pamela. Bring back Bozo and toss out the new clowns. And Ron and Sherry write this. CW needs a new programmer. All the shows are horrible. Is this the best you got?
Well, the CW has some new stuff in the works. Check it out.
Do you miss The Sopranos? What's the matter? Not enough action in your life? Forget about it. Meet Winky, Stinky, Bobo, and Lefty. Couple of real wise guys. And don't let the bright colors fool you. Lefty's been juggling my balls. He's 2 weeks late on his vac. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his big tub burned to the ground. Do you understand me?
Okay, boss. It's done.
These clowns mean business. Just a bunch of fun-loving harlequins trying to make a living. But don't try to cross these clowns, or you might find yourself in some awfully big cement shoes.
Yes?
The boss, he tell me to pay you a visit. You got the money?
I don't have it right now, but you guys know I'm good for it.
You know what? He told me that you would say that. He also tell me to tell you, if you don't have it, to let you have it. That's right. Next time, it won't be no custard pie. It'll be like blueberry or a poison berry, something that'll leave a stain.
These guys don't take nothing from nobody.
Who do you work for?
Your mom,
Who's the boss?
Tony Danza.
You guys are real funny.
Anyhow,
So if you love The Godfather and Bozo,
Funny like a bunch of clowns.
you're gonna freaking love Clown Fellas. This fall on the CW.
Finally, we've got a hit.
All right there, buddy. Lefty, what? How did you decide that name? Any particular reason? Just because it was kind of maybe mobsterish, gangsterish, or what?
Well, Lefty Rosenthal was a famous outfit associate back in the 70s, and he was portrayed by Robert De Niro in the movie Casino. So I think I might have borrowed it from that one. So that's how I got it.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I was smoking a lot of pot back in those days, Larry.
Definitely, you gotta, if you're gonna dress like a clown, I think you have to have some type of encouragement, right? A little courage to do that. I wonder if back in the day, if some of the other clowns, famous clowns out there, were a little bit of whiskey or something like that to keep that go through. I think we give a lot of those people that dress as Santa Claus. We always have we refer to them as being little toasty. I wonder if people who professional clowns, maybe the guys in the Ringling Brothers, I wonder how much, if they ever got drunk. Because that would be a fun thing to do, get drunk and dress as a clown and run around. The Ringling Brothers, right?
If I'm not mistaken, I've heard stories that people would be coming in to watch a taping of Bozo back in those days, and they would see like Cookie and Bozo like in the hallway just puffing away on a cigarette, just like, hey, what are you guys doing?
I saw this picture years ago. It was Mayor Byrne smoking a cigarette with Bozo on it, with a cigarette too. I thought was always funny. Like the mayor of the city and a clown smoking cigarettes. It's like, what? that didn't help out much with set standard for the children. There's a clown and a mayor smoking cigarettes there. Here you go. So that had been exciting and fun to do, and I think you got to get into your inner clown in any way you can, and you know what, you had some great surrounding cast with that, and I definitely enjoyed your costume. Your costume was definitely very entertaining and definitely different from the other costumes. So definitely, you did your makeup well, sir. Congratulations, you passed. You could be Ringling Brothers if they come back around. You're there for you.
I'm ready to juggle my balls, man. I'm ready to go.
There you go. Hey, you can juggle your balls in outer space in the future. Did you hear about this? There will be a hotel built in space, according to a group behind the plans called Orbital Assembly. The company plans to begin building Voyager Station in low Earth orbit back in the future, and in 2025, which is a couple of years away, 4 years from now, with the goal of opening and installing the resort in 2027. So 2 years to build it in outer space. The hotel will consist of individual pools, attach individual pods. There will be a pool there, believe it or not. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. But would you go into outer space to a hotel? Would that be something that you would do? Would that be like, what do you want to do? I'm going to go to Disney World. I want to go to Grand Canyon. No, I want to go to outer space. Would you do that? Would that be worth it for? I mean, I don't know how safe it would be.
I would have to see what the cost is. If it's cost effective. Sounds to me like it's going to be pretty pricey. Something that like thrill seekers. People with a lot of money probably are going to do it first. But yeah, it's something to think about. Definitely something to consider.
I don't know. I wouldn't think of that as being. I think I would be bogged down by it. I think I'd be too worried, too paranoid of dying on vacation that I would not want to enjoy myself. But they got here's the planned amenities for the thing. I got a health spa, a cinema, a gym, a swimming pool, libraries, concert venues. So you can go up in space and see Kiss for their next farewell tour back in 2027. Earth viewing lounges and bars, in addition to the rooms for over 400 people. Wow. And then it will rotate the world every 90 minutes, sir. So there you go. If you missed the world this time around, look, kid, Big Ben again. Here it comes around every 90 minutes. I don't know. That wouldn't appeal to me. I don't like the idea of the zero gravity. I don't think I don't know. It wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah. I'm not. This is the first I'm hearing about this, but it sounds intriguing. I would definitely want to hear more about it. Yeah, all the details. I would be afraid that while you're out there, you would run into that alien. That big alien from the movie, that big giant alien with the big fangs that would come out. I'd be afraid that he'd be out there somewhere. So.
Well, yeah, definitely. We're not supposed to be out there. Just like going to other planets. We're not supposed to be there. Why are we going there? The only bad things are going to happen eventually with all that going on there. But, it's just like going in space is like a potpourri of just bad things out there. Just like it's kind of like a sausage, just of just bad things that we're not supposed to experience. Hey, and speaking of sausage, you did another video, and it was Ditka sausage. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, this is so I got thrown out of WGN, and Mancow had a TV show for a couple of years, and he hired me to come out and do some wacky stuff, and it was on WPWR TV in Chicago, and got the okay to go down and get a press release, and we got a press release about Ditka Sausage Day at Vienna Beef at the Vienna Beef Factory in Chicago. And we heard that Mike Ditka was actually going to be there promoting the launch of this new Ditka sausage. And so we went down there, and being the smartasses that we were, the big joke of the day was, so how do you guys feel about putting Coach Ditka's sausage in your mouth? That was the whole joke the whole day. And it got a little bit old, but we still had fun, and we got to interview Mike Ditka. So I mean, what's better? What a better day to spend with with a camera crew than hanging out with Ditka and those guys. So we had a blast.
Definitely, and then you got to get some sausage. It's a bonus, right?
We got to enjoy some sausage, my friend. It was delicious, actually, very good sausage.
Oh, okay, let's take a look at the Ditka sausage.
Sausages, can you see my lovely sausages?
He's got a lot of different types.
Little ones and longer ones, they look like little meaty pipes.
All right, we're here for Mancow TV at Vienna Beef in Chicago with Tom McGlade, the development of business center or something. Well, how you doing, pal? How do you come up with this idea for Ditka sausage?
Well, we took two of the most recognized brands in the world, Ditka and Vienna Beef, and put them together. And it's a natural, two legends all in one.
Shut up.
So, Coach, how does it feel knowing that thousands of people are going to be putting your sausage in their mouth?
Shut up.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Sausages, can you see my lovely sausages?
He's got a lot of different types.
I'm a Mike Ditka lookalike, chosen by Mike Ditka himself as the #1 lookalike.
Yeah, you're an impersonator. I wouldn't know what that would be like.
Shut up.
I'm here to eat some sausage.
You gonna put Coach Ditka's sausage in your mouth today?
Oh, you betcha.
How about you, man?
Sausage. Ditka. Fierce. Bear sausage. You know, I don't know how much you know about our Ditka sausage, but it's made with love, and it's encased in the spirit of the 1985 Chicago Bears.
And she puts 3 in her mouth at the same time.
It's true.
Hi, Man Cow. I love your show.
Polish sausage, Ditka, Bears, sausage, Ditka, our Polish Oh, hey!
All right, we're here with Dr. Jim, a sausage surgeon. How long you been an MD for, my friend?
I've been an MD for 50 years, a meat dealer at Vienna Beef, MD.
Meat dealer, I like that. How long is your sausage?
My sausage is about long enough to fit on your mustache.
Ditka and sausage.
What are you doing here, Julio?
I'm trying to meet the coach, Mike Ditka.
Are you looking forward to putting the sausage in your mouth?
Yeah, eating them, yeah.
Sausages, can you see my lovely sausages?
He's got a lot of different types.
Little ones and longer ones, they look like little meaty pipes. Chipolatas, they are tasty, yum yum. Sausages, I would like to eat my sausages,
but sadly we're raw.
Sausages, please keep your distance from the sausages,
or he'll show you the door.
Sausages, can you see my lovely sausages?
He's got a lot of different types.
Little ones and longer ones, they look like little meaty pipes.
We're here for Man Cow TV.
Oh, Man Cow TV. Oh, it's good to see. Well, you guys are famous. I mean, these guys made a rise on the TV scene that was unbelievable. I can't believe you guys. But good luck to you.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate that.
I hope they renew your contract, too.
Sausages, can you see my lovely sausages?
Like I say, only you can go up to the coach and talk in costume. Dude, what was the first thing when he looked at you? He's like kind of like, "What the heck are you doing?"
God, it was funny because before we did that interview, he was actually grilling some sausages for the press, so they could get some fun shots of him like at the grill, grilling up Ditka sausage. And I caught him just like kind of like just staring at me, and he's just I can remember him just looking at me like, "What the hell is wrong with this guy?"
Well, I guess, you know what, you got to have fun. And he was just mad he was probably because he had to work. Like, I'm not coming here to cook and feed these people. I'm just coming here to, sell my brand. I don't think he wanted to cook. Like, what? I got to cook? What? I'm sure that's probably what.
It was a fun day, man.
I can imagine. Now, you also, one of the things you did in the past, you did a documentary for Cheap Trick. Can you tell us about that? Because I want you to want me.
There you go, man. Good, Larry. I know you're a rock and roll fan. I know you're a rock and roll man. So I'm impressed that you remember the good old guys from Rockford, Illinois. Cheap Trick, one of my favorites from my childhood and growing up. And I got to know these guys and hang out with them. And they're just like regular, down to earth Midwest guys. I've been out to Rick's house a few times for parties and just great guys. And I was very, very lucky to get to know these guys and hang out with them. And then 1998 came along and they had their annual Cheap Trick Fest. They just called it Trick Fest. And I was like, hey, look, man, I got a background in videography, and I'd love to come out and do a little documentary for the Trick Fest, specifically for the fan club. And they were like, yeah, man, bring your camera with. And I just went around and interviewed the fans. I found as many fans as I possibly could that lived outside of the U.S. And I interviewed some guys from the U.S. too. So the interviews included people from Japan, Australia, United Kingdom, Canada, and then a bunch of guys from all over the United States. And Cheap Trick fans are like the sweetest people because Cheap Trick's just a cool band. They're not over the top like maybe the Kiss fans are a little rough around the edges. Yeah, but the Cheap Trick fans were just like so polite and so nice. And so I had a great time, and it was, like I said, it was an honor just to be able to do something like that. So yeah, we had a great time. I had a great time.
Let's take a quick look at something you've done with that. Let's take a quick look. The sound of Cheap Trick. It doesn't get better than that. You know what, Matt? That's real rock and roll, and that's what I really like about it. It's real Midwestern rock and roll. It's nothing fancy. It's just, gives it to you, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're right up there in the same category with REO Speedwagon and Styx and Survivor. I mean, Cheap Trick is just one of those classic rock bands from the Midwest that just took off into the stratosphere and sold millions of albums and performed all over the world. They're internationally known. But like I said, when they come to Chicago, if you drive out to Rockford, sometimes you can just see them hanging out in the Jewel, like buying groceries or, maybe having a beer at the local saloon or something like that. They're totally down to earth guys who go up to them and ask them for an autograph. They'll autograph for you. And, and I guarantee you, if you're around them enough, they'll get to know you and they'll remember your name. I'll tell you a quick story. I remember after a few years of hanging out with these guys, we went and saw them at a concert up in Milwaukee. This is in the 90s probably. And, I gotten to know them a little bit. And we walked after the show. We found out they're going to hang out. They're going to be going to this hotel. And we were invited to go hang out with them because we were at that point, we were sort of like part of the entourage. And I remember walking into the hotel lobby, Larry, and all of a sudden I hear a voice go, "Hey, Matt!" And I'm like, I look over and it's Robin Zander, the lead singer from Cheap Trick, and I just was like, what the? This guy knows me, and he got up and he came over and he shook my hand, and I was just like, I couldn't even talk. I was like, this is the guy. I used to have the Dream Police poster and Cheap Trick up in my bedroom when I was a kid, man. I was just like, Robin Zander knows who I am. It's hard to when something like that happens for the first time. We're just like, whoa, So yeah, it was cool, very cool.
Well, definitely, I had to have been exciting, and just to have somebody of that celebrity status to know who you are. Like I said, they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Or they're
yes,
right?
they were they were inducted in 2016 actually. Yeah, just not that long ago. They were eligible, I think, in 2002 they were eligible because it's 25 years from the release of your first album. Their first album came out in 1977. So they were eligible in 2002. So it took them an extra 14 years to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And, we had a lot of people that were complaining and, there were tons of petitions going around to get Cheap Trick into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And finally in 2016, they got in.
All right, Matt Cassane, thanks for stopping by, for sharing us a little bit about your vault. We'll be back with definitely next week with some more, and definitely we're going to have Matt Cassane on again because, listen, this is some great stuff. All right, Matt, thanks for stopping by. This is the Gentleman Gurchowski Show. Have a good one.